So we were at the Red River Valley Fair seeing Jason Derulo in concert. And after the concert, we kind of got split up. Me and Alex were in one car, and the other 3 were in a different car. And we wanted to meet up to head back home. And so they got dropped off at Sandy's Donuts right on that corner. And me and Alex went there to meet up with them. So we drove his car there, and right as we're pulling into the Sandy's to pick those 3 up, you hear a big loud screech and a big loud bang, like a gunshot basically. And we all just whip our heads around. Them 3, like, we're facing right at it. Me and Alex were in the car, and we all turn. These 3 take off and bolt, and I just hop out of the car and start running that way, because we obviously knew, in the moment, you didn't really know what happened, but we knew something happened bad.
But yeah, so we saw that happen, and us 3 were sitting there, just like watching this car do donuts, and it started on fire. So we ran over to it, and Logan and Alex like met up with us over there, and someone went and grabbed a fire extinguisher from a gas station. And you ran like to a grocery store and grabbed that?
Yeah, it was just a laundromat down the road.
Yeah.
That people were standing outside, so I ran in, and they had a fire extinguisher on the wall, so I went and grabbed that and brought it back to put the fire out. But yeah, like he was saying, the whole thing looked like a scene from a movie almost. Like there were streaks of fire across the pavement that we all could see, and the cars were spinning and smoke everywhere. It was wild.
It was just weird. Like as soon as we got there, one of the little girls jumps out of the front seat, and she's just screaming and crying, trying to figure out what's going on. She's like, my mom's in there, so we take a peek inside, and her mom looks passed out, like she's passed out, and we were just...
She got knocked out.
Yeah,
she got knocked out. So
we didn't know what to do, so we had, her door was like jammed, so we had to get her to crawl over to us and carry her out, and then bring her out. And then finally, when we sat her down and her other daughter there, she's like, where's my other daughter? And we're like, what are you talking about? And we look in the back seat, and her daughter's just pinned between the front seat and the back seat, because the whole back side was crushed, and we're just like, oh my God. So we were ripping the door open, and finally she was able to get out. The police showed up in time, so.
Initially, there was only like 1 or 2 cops, maybe, and like one of them was helping the little girl who had first gotten out of the car. One of them was on the driver's side of the car trying to get the mom out, and so we didn't even have, I don't think, much communication in the moment with the cops.
No,
it was hey, do everything you can. I think that was the
literally
unwritten message. Do everything you can to get him out of this instinct. There wasn't time to talk about it.
No one knew, like, until the mom and the little girl both said, like, where's our daughter? Where's, like, my sister? Everyone was like, oh God, and ran right back to the car to go check for her. And it was just, man.
And we didn't even like really think about checking on the car that hit them at that point. Just because, like,
it was all the way across the street.
It shot like across traffic into the ditch.
And it wasn't on
like,
fire, so like we went straight to the cars on fire, like immediately thinking someone's like looking at the car, you would think someone is severely injured. So we're thinking we got to get someone out of this burning car as soon as possible. And then, you know, before, I think it was me and Alex, we were sitting with the little girl who got out immediately, and she's crying, and I thought it was all going to be okay because Logan and the rest of the guys were getting the mom out, and at the time I wasn't anywhere aware there was someone else in the car, and then
none of us
were.
We were. She's like my little sister. My heart just dropped because I saw the back of the car was like full of smoke because like the seats were like burning up from under because the fire was in the back of the car, so it was burning like up through under the seats. But she was like trapped in there because those back seats got pushed so far. Yeah. So we were immediately like panicked, like trying to break the window. He ended up ripping the door handle off the door. And then the cop ended up getting there with like something to break the window. And then they like cleared the glass out for us, and then we grabbed it and just started pulling on it. So the cop could like fit a crowbar in there and pop the door open to get her out.
There's a point where, I don't know about you guys, but like that, I realized that girl was completely stuck. There was no way with how she was in there she was gonna come out. And
through the window.
And the smoke was coming, and all of a sudden the flames were creeping from the left side of the vehicle, creeping in, and I didn't really see a way of getting this girl out. And I thought, oh my goodness, like, are we going to be able to get her out in time, or like, are we about to watch something really bad happen right in front of us? But you know, luckily, Alex came in with the fire extinguisher in time, and the cops came in, and were able to pry her loose just in time. But
The weird thing was, like, I don't think any of us really worrying about the car exploding or anything. Like, we were more just.
It went through my mind, but I was like, you know, it's
Yeah.
more important for the 3 people that are like helpless in the situation. Like, it didn't.
Better us try than not
In the
do
moment, the last person we were thinking about was ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, she's 6 years old. Like, we could tell how little she was in the back. And once they broke open the window, I like reached down to grab her out, and I realized that she literally wasn't moving. And I was like, well, if I keep pulling, I'm gonna pull her arms out of socket. And at that point, I think we all kind of got panicked. Like, okay, she's stuck between these seats. No, the chairs weren't moving. I tried to like recline the seat forward. Like, everything was jammed. The back right door was jammed. And we were thinking, and the smoke was coming up. And I think us and even the officers as well, they were like in a little bit of panic. Going like, we don't know how we're gonna get her out.
No, let me go back, because it wasn't like the smoke was coming up. The smoke was already like filling the car. Like, the car was full of smoke for like a minute now. Like, she was breathing in smoke for I'd say a good minute or two. So
we were trying to get her out, and we were barely peeking our heads in, and we were struggling.
yeah, I was choking. Like, I could not breathe that air
Mouthfuls of
anymore.
smoke. I don't know.
Seconds.
I don't know how she was still breathing.
Yeah, I don't know.
To be
She's one
honest.
tough little girl.
I think anyone in that scenario would have done what we would have done.
no one's gonna look at a little girl like in a burning car and run away.
Yeah,
and I
they're
think
not
anyone
gonna
would.
stand.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna have someone look me in the eyes when there's like smoke filling up the car and be like, oh, sorry, I don't want to blow up. Like, see ya, save myself over here. You know, like that. It's not at all what was going through my head.
I feel like it being a child even just added to it for whatever reason.
We all kind of regrouped at the end, and we were like, so how did this happen? Was this guy drunk or what's going on? And then I found out from someone else, one of the other bystanders was like, yeah, we saw this car, they were driving crazy, and then the cops were chasing him. So
Yeah, he was
like,
going through the ditch.
he
and, like,
was
across
totally
the traffic.
running from the cops in the first place. So
The crazy thing to think about is if like it was one car, if I was one car later in the line, that would have been me and Logan in that car.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if that helped to us. Just going to the car, like that could have been us instinctively being like, I would want someone to come help me too if I was in that situation.
Yeah.
So